Beyond the Gates spoilers suggest a new love triangle could be on the horizon. Andrew Richardson had a flirty thing going with friend Ashley Morgan. However, she shut down anything more when Andrew tried to plant a kiss on her some months back. Now that she and firefighter boyfriend, Derek Baldwin, are on the outs, will she be open to more? Will Andrew have to backtrack due to his secret romance with Dany Dupree? Beyond the Gates spoilers remind fans that Nicole Richardson recently questioned Dany if anything was going on between her and Andrew, and Dany flat out lied to her. Technically, they aren't in a committed relationship, but there is definitely something going on. After all, their one-night stand has turned into regular steamy sheet sessions. So could Dany decide it's time to define things between her and Andrew in the days ahead? If so, how could this affect any chances Andrew has with Ashley? Regardless of whether Dany and Andrew define their situationship, the truth is, they are hopping into bed together on a regular basis. Across town, Ashley and Derek's relationship is crumbling. The two recently decided to take the plunge and move in together, which was a terrible move. The romance has fizzled quickly, and they are on the verge of breaking up. In fact, it looks like things will officially fall apart during the week of May 19 to 23. So what does this mean for Andrew and Ashley? Ashley definitely seems interested in Andrew. She did the admirable thing and kept her friend at bay while she was with Derek, but once she's single, she could change her tune. Still, as Andrew does have a causal relationship with Dany, how sticky will things get for him as she attempts to choose between his hot fling and the woman he believes is the one that got away? Would you like to see Andrew with Dany or Ashley? Share your thoughts. Tune into the CBS Soap Daily so you don't miss a moment of the drama. And visit CTS often for the best Beyond the Gates spoilers, updates, and news. We open on Ashley sobbing into Andrew's arms, still in disbelief that Derek moved out of their apartment without so much as a text message. Andrew reminds Ashley that her entire identity is wrapped up in taking care of other people, hence her becoming a nurse, and she needs to start taking care of herself. Whenever she says something negative about herself, he interjects with a compliment. "If I were in Derek's shoes, there's nothing you could do to make me walk out on you," Andrew says, and we know he'd love to try those shoes on for a night. Ashley asks Andrew why he's never been in a real relationship. Is it because he's afraid of losing someone, the way he lost his parents? Meanwhile, we see Derek get out of bed with an intense look on his face, presumably going to make up with Ashley, but no, he goes to Uptown, where Naomi is happy to give him a much-needed lesson in communication. Unfortunately, Derek and Ashley's problems will take more than one episode to overcome. The two are seen sleeping in separate beds at the end of the hour. Over at Orphe Jeans, Eva is calling Leslie on the carpet for alleging that she ran Laura off the road. But her crafty mother is already one step ahead. First, she reminds Eva that Kat has twisted the truth before. Then, she resorts to gaslighting. "Eva, if you did this, I understand," Leslie says. "I'll cover for you." But Eva is too smart for that. "You know I didn't do it, because you did," she replies. "You tried to kill Laura." Leslie tries to settle on neither of them being guilty for causing the accident, but Eva isn't done. "And the potassium? Those weren't coincidences, Mama. They were you." Then comes the biggest surprise of all. Leslie confesses. "I did it for us, baby, because no one in this life would have done it for us," she says, adding that she only did it because she loves her. Of course, Leslie didn't confess out of the goodness of her heart. She did it so that Eva would be an accessory after the fact. Crafty. Jacob shows up to ask Leslie and Eva some follow-up questions, but Leslie comes up with a convenient excuse to disappear, leaving Eva to speak with Jacob alone. Fortunately for Eva, she has an alibi for the night of Laura's accident. She was playing blackjack at the casino for hours. Jacob asks Eva if Leslie was home when she returned from the casino, then starts pressing her for information about Leslie's late husband Alan's motorcycle. She tells him she wishes she could give him the smoking gun and help catch Laura's attacker, but that's all she knows. Eva is in tears at this point, but Leslie is just relieved that her daughter didn't give her up. "You still love me," Leslie says. "When push comes to shove, you protected your mother." "That's my girl." At the country club, Pamela brings Dany up to speed about Diego kissing her to make Vanessa jealous, none of which she understands. "We really do live in the upside down," Dany says. But Pamela isn't exactly flattered by Diego's kiss. Not only did he turn down her offer to become a male model, but she felt like he couldn't get away fast enough. "I guess I'm not so hot, after all," she says. Dany tells Pamela not to let that ungrateful eye candy get into her head, at which point Pamela turns the conversation towards Dany. After sensing heat between Dany and Ander at a recent photoshoot, Pamela asks if they're sleeping together. But considering he just ignored her text, Dany replies, "Just friends," with surprising confidence. Willing to do anything, and we do mean anything, to cheer her friend up. Dany reminds Pamela that she's still a sexy, vibrant woman by kissing her right there in the middle of the country club. And Dany and Pamela have quite an audience for their little show, with Bill and Haley walking in right before the kiss, dropping their jaws in sync. Chelsea, following closely behind, is similarly shocked. "Kissing Pamela to make me jealous?" Bill asks Dany, "Is there anyone you won't use?" But Dany informs Bill that who she kisses is no longer his concern. But Chelsea isn't quite as amused. That kiss is a slap in the face to women who actually love other women, she tells her mother angrily. Of course, we all know where Chelsea's anger is really coming from. She just got dumped by Allison, who explained that she never meant for their arrangement to go too far. Craig is still her husband, and she didn't think Chelsea would catch feelings for her. Desperate to get her mind off of what just happened, Dany calls Andrew, but he's still busy with Ashley, so Dany stays at the country club and faces her daughter. Sensing that Chelsea is upset, Bill also approaches her to see if there's anything she needs. "What I need is for you to leave me and Mom alone," she replies, and he takes the hint real fast. Dany encourages Chelsea to share what's been going on in her life, especially when it comes to her sexuality, as she's always been an ally. "This is important for me to tell you," Chelsea says. "I'm bi and queer and still trying to figure it out." Dany says she probably won't always know the right thing to say or do. "But one thing I do know is that I don't need a flag," she says. "The only thing I want to wrap myself in is you." It's actually a very sweet mother-daughter moment. Bill is hurt that Chelsea pushed him away, but nothing hurts him more than his hand, which is still experiencing tremors. Haley is concerned, of course, but he insists it's nothing to worry about. The Beyond the Gates What to Watch moments for Thursday, May 22, show core characters spiraling because of Leslie. Plus, Anita and Tracy unpack their old wounds. Leslie has Fairmont crest wrapped around her finger. Her chaos has caused trouble with everyone, including her own daughter. Eva is not taking this situation sitting down. She's willing to fight back. On Thursday's episode, Eva will go up against Leslie's delusions. But the problem is Leslie is the queen of Delululand. She's been feeding into her delusions so much that she believes her own lies. Will Eva bring her back to reality? Or will Leslie continue to create an ever greater wedge between her and her daughter? Meanwhile, Leslie's turmoil is still creating chaos in our favorite family. Nickel, Ted, and Kat realize something terrifying. Leslie might have just teased her inner crazy. This means that more is to come. This is the tip of the iceberg. Leslie's lies will continue to cause problems for this family. Meanwhile, on Thursday's episode, Anita and Tracy will have a tough conversation about their old wounds. Their past has caused them so much pain that it's going to be hard to revisit. Can these old friends heal the wounds that caused them so much hurt? Or will this conversation be like removing a Band-Aid? At first, It will feel like a sigh of relief, but then it will bring up a new pain. These old wounds have already reached their breaking point. The ladies will no longer want to drag out the truth. They will come together to dissect these wounds and heal from them, so they don't stay pushed down. Mother's Day was about 10 days ago, yet in the Wednesday, May 21 episode of Beyond the Gates, there was a motherly vibe with two different storylines. One mother and daughter had a very enlightening and accepting experience. The other was all about gaslighting and a cover-up. At Orphagene's, Eva and Leslie have a conversation that might be better in a private place. Nobody should be around them when Leslie's in full gaslight mode. Ultimately, she admits to her daughter that she was the one who ran Laura off the road and followed it up with that dangerous potassium injection. But of course, Leslie can't leave it there. She has to make sure that her daughter knows that she could go down for this crime as well. Accessory after the fact, she tells Eva, and when Jacob corners them at the diner, he talks to Eva in an attempt to get her to tell the truth. Instead, she covers for her mom. She doesn't give her up, and now she could also go down for obstructing justice. Hope Eva realizes that. Eva said it to Thomas though. As long as Leslie shows love for her every once in a while, she can't get back at her mom. She won't. What's it going to take for Eva to realize that her mom's love is conditional and that she needs to go down for her crimes? After Allison rejected Chelsea at Uptown, she headed to the country club, where she spotted her mom kissing Pamela. Apparently, Dany wanted to get a rise out of Bill and Haley, who had just arrived. But she also wanted to give Pamela hope for her dating future. That fake kiss triggered Chelsea, who expressed her anger to her mom. As a result, she ended up coming out to her mom. She finally told Dany how she was first experimenting, and then everything evolved. And now she realizes she's enjoying being with women. She confessed to her mom that she was bi and queer. Even though Chelsea had just accused Dany of, once again, making everything about herself, Dany came through for her girl. She supported her and accepted all of her, apologized for being flippant about kissing Pamela, and they had a great mother-daughter moment. She even deduced that Chelsea may have stayed quiet about her sexuality because she didn't want to disappoint her dad. Dany continually surprises Chelsea, and hopefully she'll realize someday that their baggage over their momager and modeling days is a thing of the past. Maybe it's time to put those resentments away